All right, all right. Hello, y'all. We are live. I'm excited. I'm excited to have my guest, Eva Gypsy Love from New York in the house. Um, listen, so I had an impromptu barbecue at my pool. I was grilling, and I'm in the gym right now, taking this live because I didn't want to get on too
Yeah,
late
you got the bad
by the time I got
connection.
to my house. Right. So I'm here, and I'm excited after a wonderful day of relaxing and chilling. I got Eva Gypsy Love in the house. She helps people find and remember God. So if you want to introduce yourself, go ahead.
Hey, good afternoon, guys. Well, good evening, because it's evening. Um, I am Eva Gypsy Love, and I'm here to talk to y'all about astral projection and finding your purpose and understanding who you are.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So her and I met. We met through. We have a mutual teacher where we took Kundalini energy healing
Yes.
activation, and I ended up going to her classes retreat. Um, and so I went ahead and I went to that, and we met. It was like so intense, and we actually all still need to kind of talk about that and what happened. Like that's gonna be later. We're gonna have to do a live with all of us because that was intense. We talked about like all of us coming together and talking, but it didn't happen. Um,
Yeah.
but Eva is very special, very intense, very powerful, and so I wanted to have her on here and just kind of talk about that. So what is astral projection for people who may not know what that is?
Well, astral projection is something that we all do in our sleep. When we go to sleep, our spirit leaves our body and goes into the spiritual realm. And so that is astral projection. Every time your body's resting, your spirit is gliding and could travel.
Mm.
And so that's what dreams are. You know, people think that dreams are just you having the illusions. It's really your body leaving and going into different realms of the world. And so attacking different ideas and different things that you're going through in your life. So if you understand your dreams, you'll understand what the message is.
Oh wow, wow. So it's so interesting because a lot of times I don't remember my dreams. A lot of times I don't. But I used to always, when I was younger, I used to remember my dreams. But it was like stuff that would actually happen. And so then it got to the point where I just stopped remembering my dreams. So I'm always like, when I do have a dream and I remember, it's always something significant. So I'm always like, well, what does that mean? What is that about? Um,
Well,
have
you
you
not
been?
remembering your dreams is a lot of times those are blockages. And it's simple to get rid of blockages with just a simple glass of water. Sometimes the energy and the vibration of you trying to travel could be taken away by your own ego, your own person. And so you'll dream or you'll go away and you don't remember, or you won't dream and you have that total blockage. That means your body's not going anywhere. It's not functioning. Your spirit is not doing what it needs. So I take a glass of water, a clear glass of
Yeah.
water, fill it to the top, put it under the pillow where I sleep at.
Sorry.
And when I put it under the pillow where I sleep at, it collects energy. And it collects whether it's bad energy or good energy. It helps you remember your dreams.
Okay. So I do that too. I started putting like a cup of water, glass of water by my bed, and amethyst. So you know what? I'm gonna have you talk because I think the rain came down, and I got my friends still out here like packing up. So let me go. Let me go help and pack up my stuff and just talk
Okay.
about the astral projection. You know how to talk, girl. You know how to do it. I'll be right back. I'm so sorry, but
It's
I'm
all
like
right. I
the
got
rain
it.
is coming down. I'm like, let me move my
Uh-huh.
stuff.
It's coming down out here too, so I understand.
Oh, okay. Let me see if I can just put you on here. Let me.
Hey. So astral projection, like she said, a glass of water will collect the energy so that you're able to um, leave your body and have the ability to understand what's going on in your next steps, what you need to know, what you need to see. It's important to always have a book next to your bed. So if you do wake up, as soon as you wake up, if you have nobody to tell the dream to, because that helps remember, you write it down. You write down whatever it is that you see, however it is that it comes to you, because it's important. Dreams are more of a revelation. It's your type of revelations for your own life. So whatever it is that you seeing at that moment or hearing at that moment is to elevate you and help you. Whether it's a message or a warning or just something to let you know how to take your next steps. Excuse me, I love me my tea, so I drink my tea all day. Um, Pandora put me in the spot because I didn't know I was gonna be sitting here talking live by myself. But if anybody has any questions or wants to ask anything, go ahead, write down in the box. Um, I do things called guided journeys, which I'm gonna go more into when Pandora comes in. And guided journeys, it helps you. It helps you astral project. So I am a guided astral journey guide, and I help you go into the spiritual realm and see all the things that you need to see in order to level it up, in order to gain perspective, in order to gain understanding about your life. I help you find your purpose, as well as helping you deal with those deep down root chakra problems, as well as also meeting God. A lot of us had lost our way because we lost our way to God. We don't sit back and try to hear God anymore. Whether God, the universe, Allah, whatever you call your higher self, your higher power, I do not take you to visit your higher self. I take you to visit the person or the entity and the gift and the universe that made us. And that's who you're going to sit and you're going to speak to. And you're going to know the difference and understand the difference when you go and you sit with this higher self, because this higher self will let you know things that you didn't know, will answer questions that you needed to know, will help uplift you and help you understand. So one of my gifts and one of my jobs here on earth is to help people find their purpose, open their spirituality, open their guide them into what it is that they need to be doing, because we all have a purpose. Um we all have a gift, and it's all spiritual. Every single one of us, none of them the same. Even if we all read tarot cards, we all read tarot cards differently. Even if we all do Reiki, we all do Reiki different. We all have different energy. So it's important to understand that not everything that's spiritual is for a spiritual person. So you don't have to learn everything spiritual out there to be a person of spirituality, because that could mess up your things. There's certain things that I can't do um on journeys that maybe somebody else could do when they astral project. I can't hear sounds. I can't even hear nice frequencies that are good for you. I can't hear anything. I have to go in silence because it messes up with my frequency. And when things mess with your frequency, you got to figure out what are those things so that you're ever to have that passageway inside, because we could all astral project. We don't have to wait for nobody to guide us. It helps, but of course, the way I guide you is directly to the problem. So directly to the core. There's people who go in and you just end up all over the place, and you bring back stuff with you that you don't need. So it's important to be able to just be in that essence of that person that could take you to the places that you need to go. Um, I don't know if anybody has any questions, and I don't want to ramble on, but I did open up. I've been teaching for a minute, astral projection. I have a big problem with social media and just coming out here and being open. I like to be behind the scenes. I'm still old school by word of mouth. You know, somebody tells somebody who tells somebody else, and that's how I get out there. And I've done many. I've been doing this for 27 years now. And I've done many astral projections, have taken people to find their purpose, taking people to go see their loved ones. If you have someone who passed away and you want to see them, then I'm the person that could take you there. I'll take you there. And this is not you're going to see them in a silhouette. And no, 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 no. You're going to see their spirit. You're going to be able to sit with them, hug them, talk to them. They're going to be able to hold you, dance with you, love on you, cry with you, whatever it is that you need to do to understand that we live amongst the dead. The spirit world is right here. And so I'm a big advocate for the dead before I am from the living. Because once you're dead, your spirit and your soul understand the other side. They understand what it is in the combination of things. So I opened up a school a long time ago, and I've been teaching, one person, maybe two at most on the low, and just going with the flow. And everybody's like, you need to bring this out into the world. Right now, it's called Spirit World Academy. The name is not going to stick. It's just the name for right now. Um, so I started to amplify it and open it up. Right now, I have 4 students. It's going amazing. I opened up class on the 28th for them, and so far it's amazing. It's like a 10-week process. There will be 3 full courses, and it's just for you to learn astral projection. And if you are Reiki, Kundalini, if you do sound bowl healing, if you do astro, I have a friend who does astral surgery, and she does astral surgery because she's from the 5th dimension, where I take people to get astral surgery. If you need medical healing, certain things are able to be cured just on that side. If you need a spiritual bath, spiritual cleansing, if you need to see a deity. I work alongside the Orishas. Elegua is the one who gives me the opening. I've been a part of IFA for many years as well, 22, I think, 22, 23. And I'm also a part of Congo. That's called Palo Mayombe. I've been that for 20 something years. I'm very close to the dead. I can hear them. I speak to them, and I'm a different type of medium. I had decided. I said, why would I speak to you through your loved one, your child, or anything? Why would I do that when I could take you to speak to them? I could take you to speak directly to them, and you don't need me. You just need me to guide you there. And you could sit and talk to your loved one. So I do that, as well as I'm also a birth doula and a death doula. And for women who are pregnant, I also can take you to go meet your child before you have your baby. Make sure that you know what your child is coming here to do, what type of gifts your child has, what type of energy or person your child is going to be, um, what you need to know, as in the name, if that name suits your child, what you need to know about your labor. Um, they discuss with you. Your own child will discuss with you for them things. So she's back, you know what I'm
I'm
saying?
back.
And basically
So
gave me the
sorry.
whole show.
So sorry. I'm like, just so okay. So I was telling you, I see people on here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But I was like, I know Eva's gonna be good. She's gonna be all right. I'm wet. So I have my stuff out
What's
there because I
going
was
on with
grilling.
you today, girl?
So I was grilling, and then I saw like this rain came, and I take my glasses off because there's like this this glare. So I was like, let me put it on and see. I was like, the rain was coming down, and so I was
Yes,
like,
here
let me go grab
too.
my stuff so I can get out before everything is messed up. So I had to do that. But hey, who's on here? Say hello. Let me know you're on here. I don't even know what you said. I came in here, you introducing yourself. So so I want to ask you, when we met, and I know you were talking about like just a couple of your clients where, you know, you went in, I guess, with the astral projection to kind of help them to heal. And I was like, you know what, I need to do a session with you, um, because there were some things that I was working on healing myself. But thank God they're all healed.
Yeah,
So, you know, I have to update
I told you
you.
they were going to be healed.
Yes,
They were
yes.
going to be
So,
good.
yeah, so it's like really good, really good.
Very happy.
Yes. So, but I was very impressed at like what you do, and I don't know if you've talked about that. And hey, to those who's in Atlanta, I'm in Atlanta. I see Natasha said she's from West. She's in West End. West End, hi. And my guest is from New York. She's in New York.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, if you want to talk about, and I don't know if you did already, but like, how does that specific healing look when you go in and you're working with a client and you go into the astral realms to help them to heal? What is that like?
Well, it could be done one of many ways. Either the person goes, I guide them in themselves, or I go in. And either way, I am taking you to what I call the Astral Realm Hospital, which is in the
Okay.
fifth dimension. We would go there, and that's where these special doctors would see you with special machinery. Well, only one machine. It's like a laser, and they just get to do everything just one swipe.
Right.
Um, they go through your whole body and they check out everything that's going on with you. If it's something that is non-fixable for them, what they do is they fix it and they'll let you know you got to continue seeing a real doctor because now it's your human body that is carrying it. Because
Right.
a lot of times when we're ill, it's our spirit and our soul that's carrying those illnesses and holding on to things and making us ill. So if they could heal that, they heal the spirit and the soul, and then you go off and you're good. I've healed tumors, cancer, all different type of things. I was telling them I'm not a big fan of social media. I
Mhm.
have several videos and stuff that everybody's like posts, several reviews, and I'm working on it. I'm slowly but surely working on it. I'm getting better. I do have a social media manager now, and she's working on some new videos so that you can actually see how people feel afterwards and what accomplishments they made through those healings. If you
And
don't
please
go,
add your Instagram handle on here in the comments. Add your Instagram,
yes,
your website,
it's
anything you want to share.
yes, it's the same thing. It's Eva Gypsy Love in all platforms. I have a YouTube, TikTok, Snapchat, Twitter, which I'm hardly on, and Facebook. And I also have three groups in Facebook. We got the Four Corners Village, which is my platform, and we have Divine Downloads, which is a platform for everybody. It's a free place for you to get tarot reading, healings, all type of things from different people in different realms of the world. And then I have Boogie Down Bronx events, which is for all the events here in the Bronx, because for some reason they wasn't in there. And I was like, I need my Bronx in there to have a place where they put up their events and all that stuff going on. Um, but as for the healing, whether it's me taking you personally, well, I'll go under and I'll go take you, or me taking you and taking you under and taking you to go see a doctor or get certain surgeries and get certain things done that I can't do for me myself. So,
Right.
or you can't do for yourself.
Right. And I love this because there's so much out there that a lot of us don't even know about. And so I feel like it's really good to be able to educate people on what types of healing and what's out there. Right. Because I wouldn't even know that this existed if I had never met you. Right. Well, no, I shouldn't say that because in
Yeah.
Brazil they do spiritual surgeries, but I think it's a
Yes.
little slightly different than the way
Different.
you do
Yeah.
it. Yeah. So I love that. And I think one of the most important things is that people have to be an advocate for their health, right? You know, traditional medicine, they don't study other things. And there's a place for everything. But traditional medicines, they only learn certain things and they're limited to that. And so oftentimes when you have something like cancer, tumor, they go to the automatic radiation chemotherapy, which is so intensive and it's killing all of your cells, even your vital cells that you need, and so with me, I haven't talked about it a lot, but I'm starting to talk more about it. I had very high precancerous cells, but I healed that through doing work with herbs, medicine, boosting my immune system, doing combo, so many different things. And one of the things that I told Eva I was going to Brazil because I wanted to do the combo and ayahuasca. And I was doing that work specifically for this. And I was like, hey, I do want to do
I just
a
did my
session
camp.
with you. And it never happened only because of timing, but everything that I did and when I went back and got another biopsy, everything was clear. Like all the cells perfect.
I told you it was.
So
I said,
yes,
he's
so,
like, oh, if still doing some work. I said, it's gonna work. You're gonna be fine,
yes. And so I gotta thank you and like a lot of my spiritual friends because they were like, "Oh no, you're fine. Don't even worry." Like y'all, my community was more sure than I was, right? And so sometimes it's like we need our community for the support and to like the reassurance and that help us stay in that positive light. So, so I'm very big on being an advocate and doing these other treatments instead of, right away saying, okay, let me go have surgery, let me do chemotherapy, let me do radiation. It's like, no, let's see what you can do for yourself first, right?
And that should be the last resort. It's not that the hospitals aren't needed; they're needed.
Right.
If your arm breaks and falls off, if it gets cut off, you need the hospital.
Yes.
But that's for those things, for emergencies. That's what hospitals were made for emergency.
Right.
So if you have any illness and it's not, like you're gonna die tomorrow, then it's not an emergency, and you could take those steps to try to find other things. There's so many things. Like I'm not the only person in my group in Divine Downloads. I have somebody who does astral surgery. They sit there and they talk light language and boop, 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 and they do astral surgery. And she's actually somebody that I took to do her past life regression. And when I did her past life regression, she's from the fifth dimension, which is where
Wow.
I take people to the hospital. So I was like, this is so freaking dope. Like I'm actually meeting people. The more past life regressations and guided journeys I did, I'm meeting people from the levels where I go to. Like the biggest thing that I did was a 4-year-old boy who had a tumor. I didn't take him to the fifth dimension. I actually took him to the ninth, which is where the anarchies are, and that's just a whole nother level of whole nother
Wow.
level. And that was like amazing to me, but I can't take everybody there. I think it's mainly for the children. I noticed that anybody that I take with innocence is who they allow me to bring up there. Um, and so it's just a part of healing. So if I can't do something, there's somebody else that could do something, which I was talking to them about. It doesn't mean just because you're spiritual doesn't mean that you have to have your hands in everything. And just because I do this doesn't mean that I might be the one that could fix you. Just like you asked me, you was like, "Oh, I'm gonna come see you." I'm like, they got you.
Yeah.
They got you because I get the download and they tell me, "Hey, they got her. Don't worry about it. She good."
Yeah.
Okay, she good. If it so happened that you wasn't good, then fine. Then we would have went to the process. But if you're good, you have to trust the process sometimes too, because sometimes we get ourselves nervous and all stressed out, and we make the illness even worse. And we start attacking other organs because we don't know how to act and just be in that place of tranquil. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's so true. So it's so funny. It's so interesting. So I have a friend of mine, this guy who, a long time ago, he was very big into like astral traveling. I was living in Brazil at the time, and he was like, "Oh, I want to come visit you," and I was like, "Okay, yeah." And this is astral traveling, right? And so I was like, "Okay, cool." But then by the time when I went to sleep, I was like, "No, I don't want him to come visit anymore." And so the next morning when we talked, it was funny because I don't have I've never, like, to my recognition, like astral traveled before or anything like that. And the next morning when we were talking, he was like, "Oh, I tried to come visit you and you didn't let me come." And he was like, "Yeah, you didn't let me come, and but you came here instead." And I was like, "Really?"
Mm.
And so, but it's like, how does that happen? I don't even know how I
Well,
did that.
that happened because you already blocked them and you already had the idea that you didn't want to be no pop-ups while you sleeping.
Right, right, right,
You know what I'm
right.
saying? I don't want no pop-ups when I'm sleeping because I don't know. I don't know if I'm astral traveling. I don't know what's gonna happen. So you astral traveled. You left your body and you said, before he comes over here, I'm gonna go over there. And you went over there, and in there you don't remember. It's like
Yeah,
I said, because of anything that's going on with you is why you don't remember. You know, once you start not remembering your dreams or blocking and thinking you woke up and, oh, I didn't dream nothing, or I didn't see nothing, or I didn't go nowhere, it's all because of what's going on. It could be what's going on in the air. It could be something you picked up from outside. It could be blockage on the inside. And a
right,
glass of water helps like 10,000%. Under your pillow, especially, you know what I'm saying? If you have it under your bed, under the pillow you sleep. A lot of people don't have it under the bed now because beds are made
yeah,
different. But if not on the floor. Why? Because the vibration is coming up from the floor, and you want to make sure that all vibration is being picked up. And every day you're looking at that glass to see if it's dull, to see if it's cloudy, to see if it's has bubbles. If it has bubbles, great. That means all your ancestors there, like, yay, we
oh, that's
parted.
good to know.
If it doesn't, then it doesn't.
Yeah,
Sometimes you don't remember as well because you don't have any messages. So you
right,
went and traveled, but there was really no messages to bring back. Everything is good.
right,
Everything is great. So don't bother nothing if it's good and great, on that
right,
point.
right. So I see people coming on. If you guys, you're on here, say hello. Let us know you're on here. If
Yeah,
you
I
have
can't
any
see nothing.
specific questions, I'm sorry.
I
If
can't see nothing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, yeah, just on my end, I could see how many
Yeah.
people are watching. So if you're on here and you have a question about astral traveling, astral projection, let us know. This is the time. We got Eva on here. We can answer your questions. If you've had any experience with astral projection, or you're trying to get better at it, whatever, ask. This is your time, so that you can have these questions answered. So awesome, awesome, awesome. So with the water, like, what's the hygiene with that? How often should we change it? Because I'm not gonna lie, I'm probably really bad. I've had that same glass of water probably there for 3
No,
So
no, no.
I know,
You
right?
because that's like not taking. I took a shower today, and in 3 days I'm not gonna take a shower for 3 days. You eventually, So they eventually like, dude, like, can you change the water? Like, it may not look like nothing, but you should change the water. I personally, 3 days. Every 3 days, I change the water. 3 days is for entrance. It's the number of entrance and coming in and coming out,
Right,
especially for astral projection. Three is the number of Elegua, and Elegua is the one who opens the door so that you can astral project. Sometimes he won't open that door as well if he feels that there's negative entities on that side that you could bring back home and you wouldn't know what to do with.
right.
Um, and then you got to call a demon slayer and all type of other shit going on.
Child, if y'all need to call a demon slayer, y'all need to call Eva. She about that love and helping you find God, but she will be slaying them demons. And she don't play.
It is crazy because even when I dreamt about Angie Stone, it was weird. I was
Mhm.
in the other side. I knew I was in the spiritual realm. I don't know what I was doing because I go there a lot. I am an advocate of the dead. I love hanging with the dead. I love being in the spiritual realm. It's like thebomb.com. Um, you got to be careful as how many times you go there. But if you're a person who understands and is guided, it's different. So I'm there, and all I hear her is running across, screaming and chasing some demon. And I'm like, what's going? I was like, you being so loud. I went up to her just to tell her she was being loud. If I wouldn't have known that she passed 2 days prior and she was all over social media, I wouldn't have known it was her. I had no
Right.
idea. So I went up to the lady just to tell her, hey, mama, shh, in the spiritual realm. It's quiet. And I was like, oh, whoa, Angie. And I was like, ew. Like, I've never, like, I don't do celebrity stuff. Like, that's not my thing. I stay away from certain things. And she was like, please, please help me get my soul. I was like, get your
Wow.
soul. I was like, you got your soul? I was like, come on, let's go get it. I was like, that's nothing.
Wow. You're like, really? Let's go get it. Let's go get it. I
So
got
it
you.
was funny because when I said let's go get it, God woke me up. He was like, get the fuck out. I was like, what what happened? I said, God, I was just gonna help her. I was like, it's Angie. Like, am I supposed to help her? Like, why did you bring her to me? So I left it alone and I was talking to my friends who are dying for me to start, channeling artists. Like, you should channel artists. No, I will not. And the next day, which is not very common with me, boom, I go in again and there goes Angie again.
Yeah.
At this time, we was in a different setting. She was still upset, and we sat down on the bench. And we're sitting down on the bench, and I'm like, so she was like, I've been looking for you. I was like, you was looking for me? I was like, she was like, yes. She was like, I was actually looking for you before I found you yesterday by mistake.
Wow.
But I'm looking for you because they told me that you can get my soul back. And I was like, who told you that?
Right. Wow.
I was like, who told you that? Like, I'm sitting there flabbergasted. She was like, oh, you're very well known on this side. So they talk about you a lot. They say that there's a lot of things that you can do. And that's one of them. And I was like, oh, they talk about me? I was like, that's so fucking dope. I was like, for real? She was like, yeah. And they said that you can get my soul back. And I was like, well, they're right. I can. I was like, she was like, but why did you leave yesterday? I said, it wasn't my choice.
Right.
God does what he wants and he plants me where he wants to plant me. And so
Right.
he removed me and I don't know the reason that's to yet, but we're going to have a conversation and see why. And so she explained to me everything, explained to me her death. And then she turned around and she explained to me how, she didn't sign a contract to sign away her soul. I said, I know you didn't. In your time, you didn't have to. It was in the
Right.
fine print. You just didn't know. So that's a cheat sheet, that the
Yeah.
devil has. And the devil will make you believe that, that's why I made a video and I laugh about it all the time. I'm like, who's scared of somebody that needs a contract? You need me to sign something in order to take something from me? Boy, bye. I
Right.
can't be afraid of a person who needs me to have a pen to agree with him in order to
Right.
scare me. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
everything else was irrelevant to me when I realized what that was. I was like, he's not really, the devil doesn't have that power, you actually have the power. And so I spoke to her and I said, okay, we'll do an exchange and let's see what happens. I said, we'll go get your soul. It was crazy because I went to get it and I'm expecting to meet the devil, which I've met a whole bunch of times. And it was not the devil. It was just a whole other, it was a rough time, which y'all
Wow.
could see the information on YouTube. I will be posting up the video this week. Well, probably right after this, I'll be making it and posting it up because people need to understand that there's different entities when it comes to the evil, and the darkness gets really dark, especially those that work with the entertainment industry. And so I didn't even know the name of it, and I went to go do my nails. Check out nails by Virgo. Yeah, they're beautiful. And I went to do my nails with her, and I'm talking to her about what I saw and what I experienced, and she was like, "That sounds like Moloch." And I was like, who the fuck is Moloch? I don't know nothing about that. Who's that? And she explained to me, she was like, well, that's a deity. And he, they talk about him a lot in the industry. And, that's the one that has to do with, what's that stuff? The industry stuff that they talk about. I can't even think. The thing that they said they all in. Oh my God.
Like with the little girls or something. I don't know.
You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I know what I'm talking about. Right now, it's not important. And so they told me, she was explaining to me who he was, and so right then and there, she was like, "You gonna start listening to this stuff now?" Because we was in her suite, and her suite was already closed. It was nighttime. So at first, I'm scared, but I was like, I have to know because I'm on the other side with this DNC and it's strong. And so I couldn't control. certain things that happen. And this is why it's important to understand about going to the other side and going to the spiritual world and traveling, because you can get caught up in things that you will not understand. Um,
Right.
and you won't be able, even if you get out, you bring things out with you. And
Now,
it's
have
just
you ever brought like a negative entity or spirit or energy with you coming out?
on purpose.
Well, no, not on purpose.
No, on purpose. Yes,
Oh,
I
you
do.
have done it on
All the
purpose.
time on purpose.
Oh, okay. And so, what would
I
you?
could
Why would you do
understand the
that?
world is
Like,
about balance. The world is about balance. So we want to take all the negative away. You don't. You
mm,
actually don't. You don't want to take all the negative away. You really want to stick with with negative and positive. It's about having balance. So a lot of negative entities that I remove from people, like if you have a demon that's attached to you, or bad spirit that's attached to you, a soul that's wandering that don't want to leave you alone and it's doing negative stuff, I pick them up and I use them. I use them
okay.
for different things. A lot of them want to turn, when you got a negative soul, a soul that's um abandoned, a lot of them want to turn. A lot of them, like, I don't know what to do. Like, can you help me? All right, I can help you. I need you to do me a favor. Pandora needs this and this and this done. Can you go over there and do that for me?
Mm.
And he'll go over there and do that for you. If you came for a job or certain things, if you had a court case and I need somebody to go check the judge out real quick for me.
Oh, wow.
Hey, Frank, you was bad. You did some messed up shit. Come here. Do me a
Yeah.
favor, go see this judge and make sure that he agrees with everything you say and this person gets off, or, and so on and so forth. So it's important to have those DNTs as well. I keep
Mm.
everybody, and it's important to also know that you got to keep them in the negative. You can't switch everybody to the positive, because then you're back to unbalance. And so keeping the balance means understanding how to do these things and understanding how not to bring it back to attack you or to make things happen badly for you.
Right.
Um,
And so, how do you protect yourself?
that's a good question. I protect myself, God.
Hmm. Yeah.
I can't tell you any other way. Between God and Elegua, I've been in, like I was telling them earlier, I've been in Ifa for 27 years. I've been also Palo Mayombe in the Congo for 27 years.
Yeah.
I've been doing this for 25 to 27 years, probably. Um, and so now I gotten so comfortable that the other side is like my second home, really my
Wow.
first. It's really my first. I really like being on that side more than I do here, but I do understand that I'm here for a reason. We're put on earth for a reason, and not all of us come back here.
Yeah.
The story of the white light and the heaven and the hell, that none of that exists, guys. It doesn't.
Right.
It just doesn't exist. You know what I'm saying? We are in hell. You know what I'm saying? And heaven is just a neutral of you being home and you being at your actual home, because none
Yeah.
of us are from here. We're all aliens if we really want to talk about it. We're all aliens of different dimensions. We all belong in different places. And so it's important to understand there's levels to this shit. It's just
Yeah.
that simple.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
you
No,
know.
that makes sense. That makes sense. There's just so much out there, right? Like there's just so much out there, and I'm just like hearing this stuff. I'm wow.
Yeah, but you're bold. You're bold. You're the type who gets on a plane by yourself and goes and travels and sneaks up on things. I'd be scared. You know what I'm saying? Like
Wait,
I
how you gonna be scared like with what I'm doing? And look what you're doing.
I'm scared of humans. I'm scared of humans. I'm not scared of the dead.
That
I'm
part.
scared of humans.
That part.
Humans are different. We're
Yeah.
built different. You know what I'm saying? And where we violate not only the earth and ourselves and God, we just built different. And so
Right.
even me, I'm not perfect. I've done bad shit. I've done fucked up shit, whether it's with friends or whatever. But
Right.
it's
And we all
learning.
have.
You have to get to a place where you understand you. And it's like I told them, I opened up my school, and classes is going to go open up in public in 2 months. And in November I'll be opening up in public as soon as I finish this class. But it's important to understand that we all going to make mistakes, and
Mhm.
this is why God actually doesn't say we all evil and leaves us alone. he understands that he made us of will. And so the of will is for us to choose. That
Right.
stuff that you see on TV with the angel and the devil, a lot of people think, oh, that's so cute. No, that's the truth.
Yeah.
That's who we are. So we have sides that we need to choose. And sometimes we go through certain things in our life and certain upbringings. And after we pass that portal into your mom and come into this world, things change and we start seeing things different and our spirit
Right.
starts dimming down. And so
Right.
now we dim down that positive and we're over here with this negative person. And that negative person could be anywhere from, you know, feeding yourself the wrong things and
Right.
doing the wrong things or thinking about the wrong things, and our first sabotage is ourselves. And so
Yes.
sometimes people aren't ready, you know, most people don't, you know, once I do a reading on you and they get their reading, I'll be like, you need a journey, and they'll be like, I gotta, and then, you know, they watch videos and reviews of other people and they're like, some people aren't ready to even face themselves. It's
Right.
just such a big fear of, you know, what am I gonna see? What am I gonna know?
Right.
What's gonna happen? And this is only for your better because we
Yeah.
have to lose those things in order to be in a combination of understanding the spirit world and being able to go there. Like I told everybody, in order to be a human form, we have three things that we need. We need a body, a soul, and a spirit.
Right.
And everybody's like, what do you mean a body, a soul, and a spirit? Body, a soul, and a spirit. Why? Let me explain. And a drop of blood. But that comes automatic once you put those three in combination.
Right.
Why you need that? That's why we start off as a drop of blood. That's what we start off in. Inside the stomach, we start off as a drop of blood. And so it's important to understand the first thing that forms is that heart,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
you know, that drop of blood that passes through your veins. People don't get that because they never been told that. So the Bible tells you that, but in a different form. And the way they explain it to you is in the form that they don't want you to understand.
Right.
So you have those three things that are combined. Why do we have zombies in Haiti and in these other countries? How are those zombies? Those zombies don't eat, they don't sleep. All they do is whatever you object them to do. How do they do that? That's just a body and a soul. A soul doesn't have any feelings. A soul
Mm-hmm.
doesn't have any entity. A soul doesn't need to use the bathroom. The soul and the body together, it's not human form. It needs that spirit in order to have feelings, will, love, all of that stuff. It needs that. Without
Right.
that, you could create a zombie. Here we go. I'll take a body and put a soul in it. Boop. And now that soul is working for me. It's condemned to
Mm.
me. It's just the same way. Everybody's like, oh, you know, understanding that the devil takes your soul. That's all you're always going to hear. Don't sell the soul to the devil. Don't sell
Right.
your soul to the devil. That's because that could be taken over by the devil, just like it could be taken over by somebody to make you a zombie. Your spirit could never be taken by the devil, by nobody. Your spirit
Yeah.
automatically belongs to God, to the universe, to Allah, whatever you want to call it.
Wow.
That's who it belongs to. That's where it goes. Your spirit is always going to go back to its owner. The soul stays salam balam. The soul is what stays in the spirit world and going about. Some spirits do stay, but that's harming the path. When you do something out of the cycle and you mess up the puzzle, then you won't get the puzzle pieces and you'll never be able to finish that puzzle. And what you do now messes it up for your kids, your kids' kids, your kids' kids, and it causes a ripple effect. So it's important to understand what it is that you have as an objective of doing now and your purpose now. And this is why I am so strongly on people finding your purpose, because you got so
Yeah.
many people out there doing what they don't need to be doing, what
Right.
is not
And
aligned for them.
right. So many people. That's so true. And like you had said something earlier, and it's so important because I know even for myself, like it had been really hard for me before to do the self-reflection and to look at, okay, like to go deep, and you had said something to that effect. And I know, a lot of my clients too, it's hard because you don't want to see yourself. And so, but that's a huge part of the work, like doing the self reflection, doing the inner child work, doing the shadow work. it's like seeing yourself and starting to get to the point where you love and accept all of you, the good, the bad, the ugly. Um, because no one is perfect and no one is 100% like good, good, good. You know what I'm saying? It's like we have all different sides to us. And so that's something that we're the yin and yang ring, because you talk about the balance and how you need that balance. And so we do need to have that balance, right? And I never thought about it in the way that you put it, but yes, like we need to have that negative here too. And ultimately that's what this yin and yang is, right? Like, and even within the darkness there's light. So even within the negative there's some positive. Within the positive there's negative. And so a huge part of my work has been to find out what my life purpose is, and I know what that is obviously at this point. um, Doing the self-reflection and seeing myself for who I am and loving all sides of myself. And that's scary. A lot of people don't want to do that work because they're afraid of who they're going to see, or they're afraid that, oh my God, maybe I'm so this evil person and no one's going to like me. But you got to like you, and you got to like all parts of you. And then other people will like you, and those who don't, whatever, it doesn't matter. Like,
Yeah.
they living for you? Are they paying your bills? Are they,
Yeah.
whatever? Like, it doesn't matter. um, and so those things are really important.
That's only because we're in human form and we are always looking for something to blame. So it's
Yeah,
much easier, even as a kid, you drop something, who did it? He did, and he didn't do it.
yeah,
You pointing at your brother or your sister. Why? Because you don't want to get in trouble. So we stick that in our minds, and you constantly play that over your head. And as an adult, you do the same thing. Well, this relationship is going bad because of you. Everything is
mhm,
you. It's your fault. You're the nigga that's not doing what I need you to do. You. And if you take a second and think about it, he came like that. That was his package. You
mhm.
decided that maybe you was going to change that package and put a pretty little bow over it and make it just for you. Yeah, look at it. But the package on the inside does not change. So then whose fault is it really?
Right,
It's yours. You know what I'm saying? For accepting, for not understanding that some people are some ways and some people have a negative takeover. Some people are more negative than positive, and it's up to you to remove yourself from those things. It's not up to nobody else to remove themselves.
right,
So I'm real simple. I saw a post earlier that somebody says, you losing friends doesn't mean you moving up. And that's depending the friends that you're losing and the people that you're losing in your life. Sometimes you need to continuously shed. I feel like this. If we're friends and we had a hash out, we should
mhm,
be able to sit down and talk about it. We should
right.
be
Bring
able
it
to,
all to
if
community.
if there's real friendship and real love, we should be able to sit down, talk about it, and find a mutual way to heal.
Right,
I watch a lot of people, be in bad relationships, be cheated on, beat on, all type of stuff, and the next day it's like nothing happened. He comes with one little rose and everything's okay. So if I could, say, oh well, fuck you, Pandora, today, and you can't be like, oh well, yeah, okay, well, fuck Eva. I feel like if you have a whole list of negative stuff to say about me, that's how you felt about me already. So I don't
already.
want you in my life. You know what I'm saying? Because you have more negative. Now, that doesn't mean that it doesn't, after you heal, that I can't come back to you. Like, you come back and you be like, Eva, I'm all healed up. I messed up. I know I said some things, you know what I'm saying, that I shouldn't have said. And I'm be like, you know what, Pandora, it is what it is. Now you're in a place of understanding. You can look back and see your mistake. A lot of people don't do that.
Right.
Us humans, it's easier to blame somebody. It's
Yeah.
not, the balance is about you still have the negative and positive, but take that negative and use it for a positive. And
Right.
that's
Exactly.
what keeps a balance. You don't have to switch off the negative completely, especially if it's not overwhelming the positive, but use that negative for a positive.
Right. So let me ask you now, for someone who wants to learn how to astral project, like what are some of the first steps? Like what should they do to prepare themselves? to be safe, astral projecting?
Well, I would tell everybody first thing you should have is an awareness of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Make sure that you understand self and that you understand how to feel out negative and positive energy.
Right. So how would they again real quick, y'all, I see y'all on here. Don't be shy. Ask questions. Look, we've already been in 50 minutes. We got 10 more minutes to go. Ask your questions. If you are not following us, go ahead and follow me. I'm on Instagram at IG Pandara Prim underscore Tantra, as well as TikTok Pandara Prim. You can find Eva Gypsy Love on all platforms at Eva Gypsy Love. And if you're new to my channel, go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and also hit that notification bell because I got lives coming up all next couple of weeks. So they're going to be really good. So you don't miss them. But now, how do so again, so going back to that question again, if you guys have some questions, ask. We got 10 more minutes, so go ahead and ask. Hey, Lakia, I hope I'm saying it right. Sending you nice little heart to love. Okay, so
Hey,
if
Kiki
someone,
Boo.
I was asking you, if someone wants to astral project, what can they do? Now, how do they get to know themselves? How do they connect to their essence?
Well, one of the things I send people to do, especially if you're not in a balance and you're scared of going in your journey still yet, you do something called, which I'll have a book out by the end of this month on the
Yeah.
28th, guys. It's called 21. It's called Facing Me. It's a 21-day mirror workbook.
Oh, I
Um,
love it.
Yes, and 21 days of you facing yourself in the mirror, not telling yourself sweet little nothings. That's not how you're going to project into the mirror. I want you to understand that the mirror is a portal. The mirror is a portal to the other side. And so if you're talking and looking at a mirror, you're actually talking to your spirit and your soul on the other side. You're actually talking into the spiritual realm, even though it's right here. That energy in between you and that mirror, it's very important. And the people who do get to do and understand and have done the mirror work turn around. And now, when you're ready, I would get myself a watch, and especially it can't be an Apple Watch, guys. No electronics. You got to get yourself a tick, 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 tick.
Right. One of
Because
the old school
one of the
watches, not
things
a
that don't
smartwatch.
exist on the other side is time. And
Right.
if you're not a person who constantly goes to the other side, you don't know what time it is. You don't know how long you've been there. 15 minutes could be 7 hours.
Wow.
And for
That sounds
you,
like
you can.
ayahuasca. I
Uh-huh.
be an
So,
ayahuasca mama, and I'd be like, how much time passed? Time doesn't exist. 15
no.
minutes could feel like 7 hours.
Yes, and that's what I explain to people. So you take that watch is so that you keep yourself in a time. And so
Okay.
that you understand every time you go in, you get kind of like a little understanding of how long you've been in. Because what happens is if you stay out too long, your body starts malfunctioning. Why?
Yeah.
Because you're leaving your body sleep and it's not getting what it needs being sleep all day. There's people who slipped into a coma into those things because they just spent too much time, or they just fell in love with the other side and stood there. And I want you to understand
Mm.
that's committing suicide. People don't understand that either.
Wow.
And God gives you choices, and it's up to you what you do. So I've taken people to go see their loved ones, and when they go see their loved ones, they're surprised to see that they're doing bad. They're like, what's going on? What's happening? Well, that person got sick. Okay, they got sick, but God told them, hey, I'm making you sick for a reason. I need you to wake up. So if
Mm-hmm.
you wake up, you could definitely go back and start over. And I'm gonna
Yeah.
let you. And some people be like, well, I like it on this side, and I don't want to start over. And so that's the choice I'm making. You just committed suicide. So now you're gonna be on that side, and once your body dies, is when you're really gonna realize, oh shit, I made the wrong decision. I'm in the wrong place. This is not what I wanted. I want to switch this around. Wait, no, it's too late. So now you got to work in order to get to the level you need it to be. You got to do a whole bunch of other stuff, and like I said, it's a ripple effect for your family. So if you want to go astral project on your own, that's wonderful. Be ready to see certain things, be ready not to follow certain things, be ready to understand energy, and have your watch, because you got to know how much time you're really spending on that side. um,
Yeah.
what you're
And
doing.
so, and you feel like it's safe for someone to do on their own, to project on
I
their own?
actually do not feel that it's safe that you do it on your own. I don't recommend it to nobody who's not constantly doing it, who's not already doing spiritual work, that's into breath work and meditation.
Okay.
I don't recommend you just, let me go to the spiritual world. Even though we all do it, we're doing it unconsciously. So,
Right.
God, your guardian angel, they're watching your back. So
Right.
if you're not in the incline and understanding of who you are, and your spirit and your soul and your body are not matching, and they're not all in one, I don't recommend it for a lot of people. A lot of people who have gone and done it on their own have come back like, I feel weird, or I feel suicidal, or I feel like drinking, and I'm not even a drinker. You done attach a couple of souls to you that saw you come in. You could hide from me, or you could hide, better yet, because people can't hide nothing from me. You could hide from the world how you really feel on the inside, but on that side, it's not hidden. So what
Right.
happens is, if you're depressed, if you're sad, if you are into alcohol and drugs, if you are a person that is more negative than positive, if you are a person that's weak in spirit, meaning that you're not together and you're not in that meditation and cleansing mode, then souls attach, of course, because all a soul want to do is be alive. So it's like, oh, bingo, hold up, homie, look at this idiot, let me go. And now he's
Right.
attached to you, and now he wants all the negative for you, because all he wants to do is live. So now he's living through you. Now he attached yourself to your weakest part of your body, because you already had weak parts of your body. So if you had a stomach problem, he's attached to your stomach. If you had a hip problem, he's attached to your hip.
Wow.
If you have a knee problem, he's attached to your knee. And you're like, why the hell is this person attached? Why my knee hurts more than usual? Because this person is sucking your energy through there, through your weakest purse. If your heart is weak, if your brain is weak, where you're not thinking right, and your mental capacity is not okay, and the bipolar is at 3,000, then they attach themselves, and they
Right.
become succubus. They're sucking the life out of you little by little. And so those people, once you do that, and they come to me, then I detach, and they'll be like, wait. I'll be like, no, come now. You want
Yeah.
to, and I help them, and they stay with me.
So is there anything that someone can do, like if they on their own, and again, I do recommend, if you get some type of spirit or something connection comes onto you, go seek help and have someone trained that can release that from you. But
Yeah,
there's
because
a
they
lot
don't
of
know what
people
they're doing.
now who look up on Chat GPT and they're like, oh, let me do this myself.
Okay, yeah,
So
go light a candle, and go, cut cords, and do what you do. You're still gonna end up. You're gonna end up right at that spiritual person, because you're gonna need it.
yeah.
You could just be conjuring and make it just even better for him to call some more people. Be like, look at this idiot. Come on in.
Right.
Because you don't even
It's
know this. You don't even know the strength of this spirit. And
I
so
know,
of
right?
this soul, you don't know the strength of this deity. You don't even know if you picked up a little baby demon that's just like, oh, I'm in here, and there's nothing you're gonna do that's gonna make them go away. It's
Mhm.
even like exorcisms. You don't see how exorcisms usually end up later on. They still come back. It's still its attachment, because there's certain things that need to be done, that needs to detach it, not only from your body, but your spirit and your soul. There's sometimes that it says, okay, I'm gonna let go of that soul, but I'm gonna stay right here in this body. So it's still there.
Mhm.
And so you gotta be a professional. I would never tell anybody or recommend to anybody, yo, go light a candle and pray, and it'll come off, or go to church.
Right.
I don't know. The
Yeah.
people
Yeah,
think
and
of the
that's the
weirdest
thing,
things
because
sometimes.
that's one of the dangers we have right now. Like ChatGPT is great. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I use it. Like, I love it. But there's so many
Yeah.
people who are going to ChatGPT for spiritual stuff, and I'm like, okay, that can maybe help you to a certain extent, but you need someone who's trained in this, that could really do this work and assist you in these healings and these cleansings and these
Especially
different things. So It's important. And it's like,
Especially not knowing who's running Chat GPT. And why don't y'all ask
about
it that?
that.
And they'll tell you. You know, and so you can't trust something that's a whole computer that's speaking to you. You don't know where that's coming from. You don't know who who submitted the data, because it didn't just pick up the data as its own. ChatGPT didn't say, was born and said, yeah, I'm picking up data. No, somebody's submitting that data into it. So
Right.
this is a supercomputer that just knows, feels like it knows everything, and they'll tell you anything that you want to hear. And you know, we already shouldn't trust the government with everything that they
At
do
this
and
point, it's worse,
everything.
right? And,
Like,
and
who
it's taking
wants
all
to
my
trust?
information.
Who wants to
But
trust the
anyway,
government? You know, and so you got to be careful in what the things that you choose to trust when it comes to you. You know what I'm saying? If you
yeah,
love yourself, you know, you have to pay attention to the things that you put in your body, the things that you allow. I use ChatGPT. You know what I use it for? For securing and making my stuff. If I need to find information from my birth doula clients, if I need to find information from my death doula clients that they need help from the city, or those are the things I use that for. To
yeah,
write compositions, to do certain
exactly.
things, organize my shit. That's what I have it for. Not because I'm gonna go to ChatGPT. So what do you think? I'm a Pisces. What's gonna happen tomorrow with me? And you
I
know,
know.
how do I remove the spirit? And
Exactly.
that's the
So,
supercomputer that we should be using for that is God.
yes,
That's who you need to be
exactly. Go
using.
directly to God, directly. All right. So, Eva, anything you want to share? Anything last minute you want to share on astral projection? Anything that you got coming up that you want to tell folks about? Invite them to?
Well, I am going with Bronx Witches to a retreat in November 6th, I believe, to the 8th. It's gonna be amazing. I will be posting about it soon. There, I will be doing a guided journey into cleansing with Yemaya. I love
Ooh,
my
I love
Orishas.
it. I
They
love it.
help
I
me
love
out
it.
in there with everything. I even wore her today. I was feeling blue. I said, I need you, mom. You
Yeah.
know, when I'm in that needing a mom mode. And I also have another book coming out. It's called 3 Seconds Meditation. And it only takes 3 seconds. And why it
Yeah.
only takes 3 seconds? Because we, especially those that don't know how to meditate, we go in there and we get 10,000 answers because we're fighting with the real
Mhm.
answer. And so that first 3 seconds matters. Those first 3 seconds is God talking to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not your mind. It's not Harold. It's not Pepe. It's not grandma. It's God talking to you. And so you have to be aware of understanding how to just listen to God and go.
Yeah.
Everything else doesn't matter, you know. Apart from that, I just wish everybody well. And if you have a real problem in finding who you are and getting yourself balanced, class starts in November. If you really want to get to the nitty gritty and understand astral projection
Yeah.
and use it in your whatever you're doing, I don't care if it's Kundalini, Catalini, Reiki, it doesn't matter what you're doing. This
Catalina.
could be something that you could actually put into that. I'm now learning about plant medicine, so I'll be doing plant medicine soon. I don't want to call myself a shaman because I think it's overrated the way they're using spiritualism right now. It's becoming very commercial. So now everybody's a tarot reader. Everybody, just because you're spiritual doesn't mean you're a tarot reader. Just because you're spiritual doesn't mean you got to do Reiki, sound bowl healing. I don't got to do everything. You know,
Right.
you have to understand that sometimes you even arrive in certain places and it's for other reasons. It has nothing to do with that.
Right.
Just like I arrived into Kundalini class. It wasn't something that I needed to learn, but it was something that I needed to go to meet certain people and do certain things because God has me where he needs me to advance people. But if you have a problem with finding yourself with or you have a loved one you want to talk to, or you're pregnant and you want to be sure that you chose the right name, what your kid is coming from, and that you want to clear his path and have everything ready for your child, come see me. You
I
can
love
find
it. I love it.
me,
I
like I
love
said,
it.
on
And
a
I highly
platform.
recommend Eva Gypsy Love. So follow her on Instagram, Eva Gypsy Love, on TikTok, Facebook, everything. Take her class in November. So for me, I got my Sacred Surrender Rest and Reset Retreat July 18th to the 20th here in Atlanta. We're going to rest. We're going to relax. We're going to learn some different tantric techniques. We're going to do guided visualizations. You're going to take some things home with you. We're going to be out in nature. We're going to
I'm
do
gonna
meditation.
try.
Yes, by the river. It's going to be amazing.
By the river.
I know, yes, with
With Oshun. That's
and
another thing. One
if
more
you want to
thing
do
I
plant
have.
medicine with me in Brazil, January 27th to February 5th, we're going to be in Brazil doing ayahuasca, kambo, sananga, hape is going to be great. That's the Awaken the Spirit plant medicine retreat. So follow me. The link is I have my information on my website at pandaraprem.com. And if you're not following me on Instagram, go ahead and follow me, pandaraprem_tantra. All right,
So
Eva,
one
this was
last thing I want to
great.
say before we go, I
Go
almost
ahead.
forgot, guys. I have a hair oil. It's called Oshun Grow. Hair flow like the river it's this
Yes.
meditation, and it helps with alopecia, fungus, all type of things. Grows back your hair, grows back your edges. Also changes your grays, which takes a while and it doesn't work for everybody and every hair. Okay, I'm letting you know now. Changes your grays back to its original color. And it works amazingly. So if y'all want to check that out as well, just inbox me. I haven't promoted it online. I told you I got an online problem. Okay, so y'all
Right. You gotta promote it. All right, I'm
but
gonna have
I
to hit you
will
up so I
be,
can
and
give
it
me
will be
some.
promoted in different salons, starting in Long Island, as well as here in the Bronx. And so I can't wait to see a whole bunch of people, which I put to Oshun, pray to it with Oshun, so that Oshun could give
Yes.
y'all that glorified feeling of love. Thank you, Pandora, I want to say, for having me on here. I really, really, really appreciate it. It was amazing.
Yes.
And
Love your
I hope to see
energy.
y'all there. I love
It was
y'all,
great.
life y'all. And remember, guys, it takes a village. So let's work
It takes it.
together as we all working
Yes.
to the same place, I believe, right?
Yes. So guys who are on here, go ahead and share this video. If you enjoyed it, you got some information, share it with someone else so they can catch the replay. And I love you, Eva. I love you guys.
Love you. I can't
Have a
wait to
great
see you. I'm coming out there soon. I'm coming out there soon.
Can't wait to see, and I'll see you in New York.
That's right. All right. Hit me
Besos.
up as soon as you get here.
I
That's all.
will. Bye.